It is 7 o'clock. I'm calling this Germantown Board of Education meeting to order. Please stand if you're able and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Official meeting notification, Mr. Southland.
Yes, public notice of all meetings has been given by communication from the superintendent's office to the public, to those news media who have requested such notices, and to the Milwaukee Journal Sentinel, Northwest Now, Express News, and West Bend Daily News. Public notice has also been posted in schools throughout the district and on the gsdwi.org website, as well as cable access channel 96.
Thank you. Roll call.
Medved.
Here.
Breineman.
Here.
Soderberg.
Sure.
Loaf.
Here.
Ewert.
Here.
Pollock.
Here.
And Barney, myself, is here.
Thank you. Item 2, approval of the agenda. Do I have a motion?
Motion to approve the agenda.
Second. Tracy.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That passes. Item 3, reports. Student representative reports. Hannah?
Yep, and tonight we have Hannah DeGrace as her last meeting, and she has next year's replacement. Apparently you have to be a swimmer to be the student representative, and that's Abby Bruss.
Welcome, Abby.
Amy Bell has been and will remain very active during the last few weeks of school. On 5/17, 5/19, 5/24, and 5/26, Amy Bell's PTA promoted exercise and community growth through Walking Wildcats. Students, staff, parents, and guests walked laps around the playground during lunch recess. The classroom with the most recorded laps won a treat. On May 31st, the third grade will head to Fireman's Park. The entire school will spend an entire day at Minneconne on June 1st. June 6th and 7th is field day for all students at Amy Bell. They will partake in fun outdoor activities. In addition, the kindergarten Wildcats ran for Coins for Kids and raised money for You Are a Hero and brought in non-perishable items for St. Boniface's Food Pantry. Connie Line kicked off May with an all-school assembly and introduced the idea of cooperation for the month. Over the past month, all of the grade levels have gone on a gym field trip. Kindergarten and first grade went to LaFleur's, second and third grade went to Sky Zone, and fourth and fifth grade went to Adventure Rock. Our fourth graders at County Line took a field trip to Madison last week and visited Cave of the Mounds and the Madison Zoo. The PTA will also be hosting a carnival on June 3rd. Rockfield is spreading joy throughout our community this month. 2 classes visited the Senior Center to do an activity with community members. The 5th graders also did a service project last week and painted park benches at Fireman's Park. They worked with the Park and Recreation Department to honor Arbor Day and to give back to the community. Rockfield also finished up the marathon last week. They had 1 student complete 3 marathons and another finish 2 marathons in the time allotted for running laps during recess. MacArthur students have a lot to be proud of. On May 9th, students participated in the Fun Run. They ran for charity and, as a school, attempted to raise $35,000 to donate. Not only did they reach that, but they exceeded their goal and raised over $42,000. In 4th and 5th grade, students continue the bully prevention program called Act Now through Children's Hospital of Wisconsin. It's a wonderful program that teaches them all about friendship, what bullying is, and what students should do about bullying. In addition, the kindergarten through 3rd grade students are learning all about different careers. Between now and the end of the school year, the students will be active outside and going on some field trips. For Kennedy Middle School, on Friday, May 13th, the KMS Student Council hosted its 3rd and final Kennedy Cares for the 2021-2022 school year. We are happy to report that Kennedy Cares raised over $700. The money will be used to support families in the Germantown community. Grocery and gas gift cards, needed school supplies, and other essential items are purchased with these funds. Previous Kennedy Cares funds were donated to the Gingerbread House of Washington County and the Make-A-Wish Foundation. The KMS Student Council would like to thank all Kennedy families for their continued and generous support. The KMS library staff would like to thank the 16 teams and 58 students that participated in their first ever Battle of the Books. All teams were responsible for reading 20 different books. The top team cumulatively from each grade moved on to the championship round, along with the next highest scoring teams overall. The library promotion was a huge success. We can't wait to do it again next year. The Kennedy Middle School track and field season has been a great success thus far from both a participation and results standpoint. Their program, which started in April, saw 96 students, 46 boys and 50 girls joined and participated. For the majority of these students, athletes, this was their first track and field experience. All athletes received instruction in all of the events offered, and most of them found multiple field and/or running events to specialize and compete in throughout the season. Their coaches have stressed to their students the value of teamwork, work ethic, determination, and character/sportsmanship on and off the track. And their students have done a great job reflecting those values during the season. On the competition side of the things, their teams competed well in 6 meets so far this season and are now preparing for their 2 conference meets this week. Some highlights from the season so far include their 7th grade girls team earning victories in 5 of their 6 meets this far, and 7th grade boys team earning 3 team wins, and their 8th grade team earning 2nd place finishes in both their triangular and quad meets recently. 8th grader Elise Redker broke a school high jump record on April 21st as well. So many other of their athletes are seeing great individual successes in all of their events as well. We wish all of their coaches and 33 athletes that were selected to compete in the conference meet best of luck. At Germantown High School, spring sports are in full swing. Congratulations to all of the athletes on their successes, and good luck on the rest of their seasons. In addition, Germantown High School's Dramatic Impact received 24 nominations for their recent production of Mamma Mia. This is the first year that GHS has participated in the Jerry Awards, Wisconsin's high school musical theater awards program that encourages, recognizes, and honors excellence in high school musical theater. Educators and industry professionals review productions at more than 85 high school and 30 counties around the state. School and student achievements are honored and featured in an awards show held at the Overture Center in Madison in June. Thank you.
Thank you, Hannah, and welcome, Amy. Hannah, I want to thank you for giving us outstanding updates for the past year. You've done a wonderful job. Amy, you've got some big shoes to fill, but I'm confident that you'll be able to handle it. Thank you so much.
It's Abby.
Any other questions or comments?
It's Abby.
Abby, I'm sorry. Welcome, Abby.
Her parents call her Amy when they're mad at her.
Hannah, where are you going to college?
Nova Southeastern University, it's in Fort Lauderdale.
Awesome. Congratulations and good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, item B, we have the Rockfield School presentation and
And-
the county line?
Yep,
Are they
and-
together?
Nope, but first will be County Line. and
Okay, county line, come on
Mr.
down.
Eisenbach will introduce his crew.
Good evening. I'd like to start off by saying thank you for continuing to allow all the schools to come and showcase all the wonderful things that we're doing. We have some of our fifth graders here, and Mrs. Beeman, our music teacher, and I will pass it on to Mrs. Beeman, and she'll explain a little bit about bucket ball drumming and what that's about.
Thank you. So I'm Amy Beeman, the music teacher at County Line, and I have the pleasure to welcome and introduce you to Izzy Pica, Chloe Lesla, Kinsley Wilkie, Mackenzie Feely, and Quinn Borchard. And during this unit, this is a unit that we do K through 5 with different focuses on whatever standards we're working on in each of those grade levels. When they get to 5th grade, it culminates with a project, and these girls are going to tell you a little bit more about that.
Bucketball drumming is a combination of drumming, cardio, and movement. This unit we have worked on throughout our years at County Line.
In 5th grade, we use this unit to create our own routines. First, we studied popular songs form and learned that most popular music include 2 to 3 verses, a chorus, and a bridge. Once we get into groups, we choose a song, label the parts, and choreograph movements. When coming up with movements, we listen for rhythmic patterns, instruments, and lyrics in the song that we can transfer to the bucket and ball.
Finally, we performed our pieces for our classmates and offered one another constructive feedback. Many of us chose to use recordings for this project to our student-led conferences too.
Tonight we will be sharing our routine with you. We chose the song Glorious by Macklemore, featuring Skylar Grey.
You know I'm back, like I never left. Another sprint, another step, another day, another breath. They're chasing dreams, but I never slept. I got a new attitude and a lease on life. It's a peace of mind. Seeking a find, I can sleep when I die. Want a piece of the pie, got the keys to the ride. I'm straight, I'm on my way. I'm on my way, yeah, I'm awake. I'm running late, what can I say? I heard you died twice. Once when they bury you in the grave, and the second time is a lifetime that somebody mentions your name. So when I leave here on this earth, did I take more than I gave? Did I look out for the people, or did I do it all for fame? Legend is chasing us, searching for you, searching through the mind to find the present, no ignoring us. Got 20,000 deep up in the street like we some warriors. My mama told me never bow your head. I feel glorious, glorious, got a chance to start again. I was born for this, it's who I am, not gonna forget. I made it through the darkest part of the night, and now I see the sunrise. Now I feel glorious, glorious, I feel glorious, glorious. I'm feeling glorious, the good looking victorious. You know that we've been going since we hopped out that DeLorean. I'm gone, things are just things, they don't make you who you are. Can't pack up all you haul and take it with you when you're gone. We posted on the porch, my family's glasses to the stars. My grandma smiling down on me like, that boy got bars. Okay, yes I do. I said amen and hallelujah, let me testify to another morning. I'm on it, won't let self get in my way. I got my breath, I got my faith, and I remember what I got. Glorious, glorious, got a chance to start again. I was born for this, it's who I am, not gonna forget. I made it through the darkest part of the night, and now I see the sunrise. Now I feel glorious, glorious, I feel glorious, glorious. We gon' be alright, never mind. When I open my eyes, I see you shine. We planted a flag, they don't understand. The world is up for grabs. We gon' be alright, never mind. When I open my eyes, I see you shine. We planted a flag, they don't understand. The world is up for grabs. I feel glorious, glorious, got a chance to start again. I was born for this, it's who I am, not gonna forget. I made it through the darkest part of the night, and now I see the sunrise. Now I feel glorious, glorious, I feel glorious, glorious.
Thank you, County Line.
Outstanding job, County Line.
Yeah, it was
Great
great. I
job.
just discovered a new use for all these 5-gallon buckets and exercise balls that I have at home.
You guys weren't having any fun, were you? No? It looked like you were, so I just wanted to make sure. How many of you are moving on to choir in 6th grade? 2? And how many for band? Awesome. Well, thank you, Mrs. Beeman, for always instilling music in our kids. Great job, you guys, and good luck in 6th grade.
Thank you.
Good job.
And next, Dr. Crowett will introduce her kiddos from Rockfield.
Good evening. I echo Mr. Eisenbach and thank you for inviting us to present tonight. It was pretty hard the last couple of years when our focus was so much on keeping kids kind of separated and in their own classrooms. So when these 3 girls came to me in November with this brilliant idea to make Rockfield even better than it already is, and they were inspired by their teacher, Mr. Schrader, it just melted my heart. It gave me the inspiration that I was looking for to just make every day even better. The timing was absolutely perfect because they had this idea to create a recycling program at Rockfield. And I was going to be touring a school looking for 4K. And coincidentally, that school also had a team similar to what our school was envisioning. So it was really wonderful to work with these 3 students. They dedicated their time during their lunches, during their recesses, during some of their reading work time to make great things happen. They came in with a plan, they wrote all of their own scripts, and they wrote their own lesson plans. You're going to hear more about that in just a second. So I'm going to turn it over to Rockfield's green team.
Hi, my name is Crew.
I'm Bryn.
And I'm Morgan.
We are the Green Team. We started a recycling program at Rockfield in November.
As a part of our science unit, we learned about our human footprint. Each day, we learned more and more about recycling and pollution. When our class watched a video about kids who started a recycling program at the school, we were inspired to make positive changes at Rockfield. To get our message out about recycling, we spoke on the Rockfield News. The first time we were on the news, we introduced ourselves and what the Green Team is all about. The second time we went on the Rockfield News, we demonstrated how to recycle the milk cartons in the cafeteria. Then we went to kindergarten through 2nd grades to read and do activities so they know that recycling is fun and important. We convince people to recycle by reading them books and giving them activities to do.
At school, we mainly recycle milk cartons. We help in the lunchroom during our recess to make sure that no milk cartons get in the trash.
Recycling helps our planet in many ways. We try to get each and every milk carton out of the garbage.
The Green Team is more than just the 3 of us.
We have 6 other students helping. The Green Team is more than just about recycling. We also clean up our playground and encourage others to reuse materials and to compost.
We started this because we want everybody to recycle and make this world a better place. We hope you will recycle in the future.
Ladies, what grade are you in?
Third.
3rd grade. You guys did a phenomenal job. Thank you for being inspirational and very brave. You guys did a great job.
Thank you, Green Team. You guys did great. Great idea, by the way. Okay, moving on to item C, community survey. Mr. Stousen.
Yes. Not too long ago, one of the pieces that as a district we're working on is just improving communication, and part of that is figuring out how people currently get their information and how they prefer to be communicated to. So a survey was sent out to all families, and we had 753 responses to the survey. And I'll just go through some of the slides related to some of the data that was captured. Almost 73% of the the family's smartphone is their way to get their information, 24% through the computer. How often do families visit the district website? Only about 5% daily, but on a weekly to monthly basis, well over 50% of our parents are accessing the website. And how often do they use the district smartphone app? So we do have a smartphone app, which I'll talk about in a little later, because this is the purpose of this survey. We found out that not a lot of people are using the app, which has all the same information as the website, but yet people use their phones the most. So we'll talk about that app in a little bit. What are the main social media networks that people use? And it's Facebook and Instagram, and then YouTube, and then a spattering of the other ones. Preference for communication for their student, email by far takes the cake on that one. Frequency of routine communications from teachers, the school, and the district, and you can see that the families feel like as the teacher is communicating with them as needed on a weekly basis to monthly basis, and the school itself, about 50, 60% they're getting information as needed or on a weekly or monthly basis, and same thing with the district. Preferred district communication, email, again, by far, or push notifications, which those usually come when there's like a snow emergency or some type of other emergency. And then Skyward Family Access is the other one. The main couple of things of why families go to the website or the app is by far the calendar to see what's coming up, and then student parent tools, and then school notifications, and then the menu. Usually the menu is higher, so not that typical. That's that down in the 40%. But things that families said they'd like to hear more about: school level news, curriculum, and community events were the top three. And when do they feel like they get timely responses do parents feel they get timely responses to inquiries? And from the building principal, it's the highest, and then district office, and then the board. Some of the findings, again, I referenced this before, but 75% of the families said that they use their smartphone to access the internet, but only 45% have never visited or used our mobile app. The GSD app offers convenient access to news, calendar, directory, documents, and more. And here's all they have to do is go to their app store and type in Germantown School District, and up will come the little icon in the app. They download it, and they can set the account to accept notifications if they want. You can also follow whichever school you want to follow. Like if you have students at Rockfield and Kennedy, you would select those two, and then you would get your news and information from those two specific schools. There's also in the menu directory, sports calendars, some of those top things that people go to the website for. The high school NKMS, their feed is linked to their daily announcements, so whatever is read to the students on a daily basis is also posted onto that website. And again, the calendar is something that people said they go to the website and the app a lot, and it just shows the different ways you can see the calendar. Also, if you're looking for people, especially like at the high school, there's a lot of staff there, and so it's like, okay, how do I filter through? You can filter by office administration. You can filter it by science department, social studies department. So a lot of ways to filter which information that you're going to see. Also, all the documents that you would get off the website are also found right on the app as well. And that's kind of the quick version of our communication survey. Any questions? Beth, yes.
Great survey. So what's going to change from the survey in terms of how we communicate?
Yeah, and that's what we're working on. I think the some things that won't change is our email communication, because we know that's a priority, and it's one piece is figure out more ways that we can encourage people to download the app. So if we can put it in a Skyward Blast with the link so they can download it, because people are using their phone 75% of the time, but only 43% of them have the app. So that's one of the focus areas. And also just to maintain and make sure that, and we have it right now, but like the calendar is one of the first buttons that you can see when you go to the website, because we know that that's what people go to a lot. So making sure that those high frequency points are easy to find, and it's one click away versus 2 or 3 clicks.
And I know the district has a Facebook site, and 73.6% of the users or of the folks that took the survey regularly use Facebook.
Yep.
I know we post things occasionally on there, but is that an opportunity to post more information?
Yep, and from our website, part of our website package is something called Thrill Share, and so it allows, if, let's say, someone took a picture of, let's say Andy took a picture of the group performing tonight, he could in Thrill Share push that out, and it would go automatically to Facebook, Twitter, and to the news feed as well. And so it's using that feature more at our sites as well as through our athletics and activities.
Great, thank you.
Any further comments?
I'll just jump in and say I'm an app user. I actually like it quite a bit, and I would encourage people to go out and download it. It's in some ways it's a little more user friendly than some areas of the website. Not that the website's actually bad; it's pretty good. But if somebody on the board can use the app, I think most everybody else would be able to use that as well. Plus, also that NutraSlice with regards to the menus. That's another tool out there for people. That's more recent, if I remember it correctly. But we can make the tools available, but people need to go out and grab them and start using them to be fully effective.
Yeah, I do appreciate the last several years we've upgraded our website, and the app is fairly new. It's only been around, this year? So the information sharing that we're able to do is a lot more robust than it used to be. So we appreciate the upgrades. It definitely helps spread the word and get more information to people quicker. Any further comments? Okay, moving on. Item D, Activities and Athletics Report.
Yes, we have Sarah Nerdl, our activities director, and she's going to just share spring activities.
I have fall and winter.
And fall and winter, so the whole package.
Yeah. Good evening, and thank you for having me here tonight. Like the past few years, I think many of you have seen from the weekly co-curricular digital Warhawk Pride newsletter that's posted to the high school website through the app if you have it. It's also linked to the Facebook page that our students are continuing to do remarkably well in the co-curricular world. So that said, I'm going to take you back and give you some highlights from the fall, and then the winter, and then the spring. So just to refresh, Germantown High School was honored once again at the WIAA Athletic Director Area Meeting with receiving the WIAA Award of Excellence Award, and we received that in 2019 as well. This award is presented to athletic programs that excel in the areas of sportsmanship, ethics, integrity, leadership, and character. Well done to all coaches, student athletes, parents, and the athletic department overall. Additionally, in the fall, individual records were set in the following sports by various students: boys soccer, football, girls cross country, girls golf, and girls swim and dive. Some of the ladies that were here earlier are part of those swimming and diving records. The various records set in the fall combined for a total of 16 new records, which is pretty incredible. So congratulations to all of those students. The girls volleyball team also won the Greater Metro Conference title, finishing 8-0 for the first time in school history, and they also won their regional championship. The football team made it to level 2 in the WIAA playoffs, and one player was named the Greater Metro Conference Football Defensive Lineman Athlete of the Year. Also, the girls swim and dive team were sectional champs, which has not been done since 1999. On the activity side of things, the cast and crew who performed the complete works of William Shakespeare Abridged did a fantastic job. We also did some inductions this fall of former standout coaches. We had longtime swim coach, Coach Dick Zaki, longtime softball coach, the late Coach Rich Anderson, and pioneer female volleyball, basketball, and track and field coach, the late Coach Dana Mashman, were all inducted into the school's Wall of Fame at either a home swim meet or a home football game this fall. Coach Dick Zaki was also inducted into the Wisconsin Interscholastic Swim Coaches Association's Wall of Fame this spring as well. Former standout student athlete Becca Murray was also honored at a home football game as she was named Best Athlete with a Disability in Women's Sports at the 2021 ESPY Awards in New York City. And finally, to round out the fall, a huge thank you goes out to Mr. Mark McClellan and the Environmental Club students for planting some new trees around the high school property. They look great. Moving on to some of our winter success stories. In wrestling, Germantown had one female participate in the first ever female state wrestling championship, and she placed 5th. There's a bright future for this young female wrestling star. Additionally, Germantown had 4 male wrestlers compete in the individual state tournament, with 2 making the state finals. One was runner-up in his weight class, and the other won his first state title. All around, it was a great season for the wrestling team, and the future also looks very bright for this young group as well. The powerlifting team competed in the USA Powerlifting High School National Championships from March 24th to the 26th. The team did extremely well, bringing home first place awards in the varsity equipped women's division, and the team had 14 out of 16 competitors place in the top 5. Of the team's 16 competitors, there were 3 varsity national champions, including the team's first female varsity national champion and the team's first ever 2-time national champion. A student also set 4 Teen 2 records in his weight class with a squat of 628, a bench of 369, a deadlift of 518 for a total of 1,515 pounds. The girls' basketball team and gymnastics co-op team were conference champs, as were the boys' wrestling team and co-op boys' hockey team. That was the 2nd year in a row for the boys' hockey team. Additionally, the girls' basketball team were regional champs, and the Lakeshore Lightning girls' hockey co-op program concluded its season in the regional finals, and that was their best season in program history. The Germantown Pom and Dance team competed in the WACPC state dance competition and placed 5th in D1 Jazz and 3rd in D2 Pom. This is the first time in history that the Warhawks have placed in the top 5 at state with not only one but both of their competition routines. On the activity side of things, it was the return of the world's largest pep band. In addition to the regular members of the group, alumni, siblings, KMS students, and more joined for the fun at a home basketball game. Also, congratulations to all musicians who performed in the WSMA State Honors Project. They performed in Madison at the Overture Center as part of the Wisconsin Music Educators Conference. The WSMA Honors Project highlights the best musical talent in the state, and Germantown is proud of all of its members. Additionally, 2 students were named the Greater Metro Conference Athlete of the Year in girls basketball and wrestling. And Germantown's girls and boys diving coach, Coach Mary Woodson, was selected as the Division I Boys Diving Coach of the Year by the Wisconsin Interscholastic Swim Coaches Association. Also this year, Wisconsin Athletic Service Award was presented to Dennis Cloth at a home basketball game. Each year, WIA member schools can select one recipient in their communities to receive this award, and longtime teacher, coach, event worker, community supporter, and friend, and Dennis Cloth was the recipient. Finally, head baseball coach, Coach Jim Wilkinson, was inducted into the 40th Wisconsin Baseball Coaches Wall of Fame class this winter. Also, several deserving alumni were inducted into Germantown's Wall of Fame at a home basketball game. Student athletes Jason Belkey, Ben Crowett, Harold Harry Gettleman, Dick Strack, and Sherman Thomas were honored. And moving on to the spring, Germantown hosted the Indoor Greater Metro Conference Varsity Championship meets in the new field house. It was a 2-day event, and many compliments were shared, and overall the meets were a success. Band and choir students performed at the WSMA District Solo and Ensemble Festival earlier this spring. There were 96 total events and 34 events earning the honor of performing at the WSMA State Festival. Congratulations to all the students who competed in the 49th Annual Skills USA State Leadership and Skills Competition. Many awards were given and many students advanced to nationals. Germantown FBLA students attended the first ever state leadership conference in Madison. Students competed in a variety of events, attended workshops, and attended business tours. The students had a fantastic experience, and out of the 59 Germantown students, 16 qualified for the National Leadership Conference this summer in Chicago. Additionally, one student represented the state of Wisconsin and the Germantown DECA chapter at the International Career Development Conference. This student received an individual role play award for her marketing competition, Automotive Services Marketing, and placed in the top 20 nationally. Also, congratulations to all of our Destination Imagination teams district-wide and to those that are at global finals right now. Congratulations to the Germantown High School forensics team for a spectacular state tournament. Perfect scores and gold medals were won by many. Congratulations to the Germantown HOSA chapter for representing Germantown High School at their state leadership convention in the Dells. Many students earned special recognition. And as you heard earlier, and most of you are aware, the spring musical Mamma Mia that was held April 29th to May 1st right here in the PAC was a huge success. We have 2 students and the head director / advisor and orchestra advisor all won Jerry Awards. School and student achievements are honored and featured in an award show held at the Overture Center in Madison in June. We are moving into the final weeks for spring sports and look to have some success at the postseason level for many. Please be on the lookout for news about their finishes and the remaining Warhawk Pride newsletters, again, that are posted on the high school's website as well as on the Facebook page. Finally, over 20 students this school year have signed their letters of intent or commitment letters to play their sport at the next level next fall. And we also have 2 WIAA senior scholar athletes, a male and a female, that will be honored at this upcoming graduation rehearsal for their outstanding athletic achievements as well as academic achievements throughout their time in high school. So all in all, as you can see, things are going remarkably well in the co-curricular world. And a huge thank you goes out to our hardworking coaches and advisors, as well as our parent and community supporters. Our students and student athletes continue to excel and surpass our expectations with the support of many. And thank you to all of you for your support as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Any comments, questions? Bob?
Sarah, a wonderful report. Thank you for doing that. What % of our students are in co-curriculars?
We're still well over the 80%.
And the state average, I think last time I looked, it was in the 20s or the 30s. Thank you for sharing the wonderful news about the WIAA award. I think that's not only good for your coaches, all the student athletes and all the moms and dads that do all they do to get their kiddos to all these events, but it's also because of you too, as a leader. And I want to thank you for all you do, all you have done for the program here. So thank you.
Thank you. All right, moving on to item E, board meeting schedule 2022-2023.
It's there.
There it is.
There it is. It's in your
We
packet.
tried to pick the dates and the
Yeah.
times. Some months, as you'll see, we only have the one meeting, which is typical based on holidays and things that happen. So everything is subject to change, but that's our tentative schedule moving forward. Thank you. Item F. committee
Bob's got a
assi-
question.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Or a comment. I know we're here at the PAC, we've been here for a couple years because of COVID. We're past that already, unless the monkeypox comes and gets us. I'm joking, of course. I would love to see a rotation where we don't come here, because this puts a burden on staff here. But I would love to get back to the schools. We've got beautiful schools, beautiful cafetoriums. I would love to get back in the schools. I think our constituents would love to go to the schools and see the schools. So,
I agree.
just a thought.
And that was something we were considering. The problem we have is we don't have a good traveling tech equipment to go to the schools, and that's why we kind of avoided that this year, plus of all the other conflicts that we ran into. But moving forward, I definitely think that's something we're going to address and take care of.
Great, thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, moving on to item F, committee assignments. Again, we went through the assignments. I think I talked to everybody, and everyone seemed happy with what they got. If not, we can talk. Let me know.
I believe human growth still has an opening, and I'd be happy to fill that.
Okay. I think Mr. Ryder can put you down.
And then once that's finalized, we'll get that on the website as well.
Yeah, that's not an every month kind of a thing, so.
Good.
All right, moving on to item 4, citizen comments. First up, we have Amy Beeman. Is she still here? There you are. Welcome.
Hi again, I'm Amy Beeman, music teacher at County Line. I'm also your GEA rep for the evening. I will try to answer any questions you may have. If I am unable to, I'll take it back to our leadership team and get back to you as soon as possible. Thanks for having us.
Thank you. Scott Heffley.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for the time tonight. I'm back. I was here last time. I did bring something to the school board's attention that I found out you didn't know about, and I'm sure now you know about it, regarding the playoff basketball game that did not happen. So I want to thank Mr. Ewert for looking into that. I did not receive a response in full of what happened as a result of the conversation. I did hear a little from Brett, a little from Russ, but something I brought up you didn't know that I knew, as it turned out, wasn't an allegation. It was actually truthful. So I would just like, from going forward, that someone would get back to me and explain what the final results of that were, because we all paid for those facilities, so we should be able to use them. I think we're trying to use them. We should look forward to doing that. So at that point, the next point is, unfortunately, in the news, which I'm glad we're not in the news, is Menominee Falls, and they had an issue at their elementary school. So I'm hoping that we don't have the issues they do, that we're going through our policies and procedures to make sure that doesn't happen, because we don't want to end up on the news and end up on WISN. So, you know, right nearby, it's a concern, but I feel we're obviously, I think we do a better job of tracking what we're doing, but it is a concern to me, so I bring it up. I also found out I've been going to some village board meetings, believe it or not, and I found out that state statute mandates that village board meetings have to be on Monday nights. So if people want to go to both, it's going to be hard because you guys meet on Monday nights. So I don't know if you ever met on a different night. I've only lived here 30 years. I don't know what happened before then. But if you can't meet on the same night or there's a conflict, I'd suggest maybe doing 2 to 3 joint meetings a year. I think they would like it. I don't know if you guys would like it, but I think that helps the cooperation, at least in how the committee looks at cooperation between the two boards, because I feel you guys got to work together. There's a lot at stake, so take a look in that. I was at some meetings about the Richfield Water Sewer, the IGA meetings, and I was happy to see Mr. Barney and Mr. Ewert both show up there. This is a big deal that affects all of us, and if growth comes to Richfield, we do have attendance lines in the Richfield district. I think we know that. So kids are coming in, and I hope we have the room for them, so I encourage anybody to go to those meetings, because the growth affects all of us. I know they shut down Division today because they're putting sewer into a new subdivision. I don't know how many homes in there, but I'm guessing 15 to 20 more homes, more kids, so pay attention for that. I wasn't surprised to see the numbers on the survey that Mr. Stelsland said. You know, I had 2 kids go through the district. When I had a problem, talked to the teacher, didn't like what the teacher said, go to the principal, you know, lands on their desk. Go to the district office. I usually didn't do that. Timely response, Board of Education, I think that's perception, but 45% is not a good number. I'm not going to call it a challenge, I'll call it an opportunity. So, you know, if something comes across your desk, whoever wants to, you know, behind the scenes jumps on it, I think people would really like to see that going on. And of course, the last thing I'll say is, you know, it's budget time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, that's all we have for tonight. Item 5, approval of the minutes, April 25th, 2022 Board of Education and 25th, 2022 closed session. Do I have a motion?
Motion to approve minutes from April 25th.
Second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That passes. Item 6, Teaching and Learning Committee, Mr. Reuter.
Actually, I think it's Mr. Ewert was going to
Mr. Ewert gonna
start us
start?
off this evening.
Yeah, so I just wanted to say it was
a refreshing meeting to have to start and kick this program off, or this committee off, as a way to present the transparency piece along with kind of, and I believe Tracy mentioned it during that committee meeting, the educational piece as to why and how things are done, and as we work through this process. If Chris, if you would want to just touch on, I know there's 4 key stages to each part of that.
Yeah, I think as I onboarded into the district, one of the vital pieces to the work in the teaching and learning department was the transparency of how we select and choose curriculum for our students. So in that first meeting, I really wanted to make it apparent that it's a 4-stage process, and it's really about studying, understanding, piloting, and then professional development, and then implementation. So as we engage in our 3 areas of curriculum for next year, K-8 reading, 6-8 math, and secondary world language will engage in stage 1 of that process. And that curriculum calendar that was present in the Teaching and Learning Committee really does a 6-year look ahead. And obviously that's fluid when there's changes, state mandates and legislation, as well as standards that we adopt as a school district. But that way at least we have a forecast forward. Teachers know what's coming. Parents and families know what's coming, and you as a board obviously know, and we can think about it not only from a teaching and learning lens, but a fiscal lens as well to determine budgetary priorities when it comes to teaching and learning.
So part of that discussion led into this Instructional Improvement Council. Looking into that, it appears it pops up in policy 2220, and it lays out a structure as far as a possible way for community involvement. So if anyone would like to take a look at that, I encourage them to do it. Reach out to myself or Chris in regards to this process, and we'd be more than happy to get you on the list as far as involvement in this review process.
And we spoke a little bit about the internal team around those review teams, and that council that Mr. Ewert's speaking to talks about the external and almost a quarterly update to keep the curriculum and the work of the curriculum department and teaching and learning transparent, and provide community and parent feedback, as well as those review teams that are the internal stakeholders.
We touched on the 4K update and timeline. Chris, if you wanted to.
Yeah, I think that'll be a standing agenda meeting into next year, as that's our newest grade level to the school district. And we have just this Thursday night, 6 to 6:30, each of our elementaries, our principals are leading a 4K presentation, a parent information night, just kind of some high-level information at this point in person in our schools, followed by a school tour to welcome parents, and then some more formal work with students, teachers, and families will happen in the fall. So that'll be a standing agenda item on the Teaching and Learning Committee as we talk about our enrollment, programming development, and then obviously the launch and how we're measuring the sustainability of 4K and the success of it into the fall.
So in regards to that, it looked like we have about 138 students potentially enrolled across all the elementary schools.
Yes.
With each school having multiple sessions.
Correct.
Excited to have that kick off as a parent that didn't have the opportunity to utilize that, but exciting for that to occur.
Just have another child and jump in.
All done.
And I think you can preview coming forward. Mr. Ewert, Mr. Medved, and I spoke recently about transparency around district professional development and what that looks like, and how that aligns to the adopted calendar. That is information will be coming in June as we look at a year at a glance and some focus areas for development for our teachers and through teaching and learning.
Yeah, I think that's part of this committee, is to present that process out. And if anyone wants to take a look at those meetings, I think it's a great resource to learn how this whole process works across not only the classroom, but then the development of the staff hand in hand. We're hoping to have that presented through that process. One area I know I was reached out to, and I believe Chris was as well, regarding the opt-in letter regarding the critical thinking and writing class. We had a little bit of a discussion in regards to that. And it is one of the 2 classes that was okayed to contain CRT in last year. The opt-out letter or opt-in letter was part of that process as far as the student being allowed to attend that class. The parents had to opt into it. I think there might be some confusion as far as if that was particularly a AP class or not. That particular one is not the AP class, am I correct?
Yeah,
in
there's
that?
an AP course, and then there is an elective course as well. I think some of the safeguards we'll put in place, because you can always communicate more. Next year, in our course guidebook, we'll put a D-note that talks specifically about content and material that's in these courses. That's a little more transparent, and then a link to this actual letter, and then an earlier reminder then at the end of the school year for fall course selection. So we can always improve on communication. Some feedback we got from families that reached out to myself as well as Mr. Eward.
And then in regards to that opt-in, if the parent chooses not to opt in, the student obviously would be able to schedule a different course.
Correct.
At this time, right?
Yep.
We're not too far down the road from that?
No, we can still make those changes.
Perfect, thank you.
Any other questions?
Yeah, thanks, Russ. Quick question. You reference the CRT and the opt-in. You reference an AP course and an elective course. I thought the board only approved 2 AP courses for CRT. I could be wrong.
I believe that's incorrect. I think it was the critical thinking and writing and then an AP class.
Both English courses. One is an AP designated class and the other is an English elective.
Got it. Okay, thank you.
And I can confirm the opt-in process is working because I have a student who took critical thinking and writing this year and I had to sign up for it.
Great.
Mr. Wolf?
The opt-in doesn't, if the parent doesn't opt in, the student's can still take the class, right? They're just out for a few days or no?
No, you have to opt into the whole class.
All or nothing.
Yep.
It's all or nothing? Okay. I was thinking it was just a small portion of the class that, the student wouldn't be involved in. So it's really the whole class, huh? Now, I thought it was one unit or something that included CRT, not the whole class.
I think the problem is for the AP classes is they need to check all the boxes, so you can't skip a box. So for that, if your parents are opting you out, it's an all or nothing.
Right.
And I'm assuming for consistency reasons, we're doing that for both classes.
Yeah, and in an AP course, the ultimate goal is to take the AP exam so that you can score 3 or higher to receive college credit that can be applied to a university. So if you skip a portion of the course, the theory of action is that you would most likely not do well on the actual AP assessment. That is not our local assessment, it's College Board's assessment, which then puts the student at less likely of passing at a 3 or higher. So it's probably more advantageous for the student to opt out of the class completely and take a different English course. And I think, not knowing the full background, but to Ms. Reinemann's point, the consistency of both courses, because I believe there's 2 units that have aspects of the lens of CRT that you do an analysis through in the elective course. So you're missing a chunk of the class. So it's probably better to choose a different credit option for English than either of those 2, than missing portions of those courses.
Okay, I just wasn't aware that it was a all or nothing for our course. I knew about the AP course.
Sure.
But I'm not sure that was clear back when we were talking about this quite often. Thank you.
Anything further?
That's all I had unless Chris had something to add to it.
No, I think that's it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Nice update. Item 7, Finance Committee, Mr. Lowe.
Yes, the Finance Committee met 2 weeks ago. I thanked Tom Barney for being on the committee for 10 years. I hadn't really realized it was that long, but time seems to fly when you're having fun. I also welcomed Russ Ewert to the committee, and from there we went on and approved monthly vouchers. There were a few questions about the vouchers. Next was Brittany's variance report. I think the main thing that I saw come out of that was no purchases for the rest of the school year, unless it's some sort of an emergency. Anything you wanted to add, Brittany, or?
No, some of the areas such as activities and athletics, as you know, we have sports still going on. Those continue to make purchases, purchases that have buildings and grounds for utilities. There will continue to be purchases, but it's just those one or two items where there should have been a plan for it, and if there wasn't, then it'll be pre-approved before it goes through.
Okay, very good. Then we're on to item 7B. This motion does not come through with a positive recommendation, which is not a bad thing. It's just that this is not the motion that we covered in the Finance Committee. So I will make the motion, and I believe it requires a second from the board. Okay, Brittany's given me a yes. This is related to the defeasance, debt defeasance for the $84 million referendum. So the motion to approve the resolution authorizing the transfer of funds, the establishment of an escrow account with respect to the defeasance of certain of the general obligation school building and improvement bonds, Series 2017A dated April 12th, 2017.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a second. Any discussion?
Yeah, I would like a little bit more clarity in terms of what this actually is going to do. I know this is going to be the restructuring of the debt and the savings to the taxpayer of approximately $207,000. So could you add more clarity?
Sure.
For those that weren't in the committee meeting, so.
So by defeasing debt, that means we levied a certain amount of dollars that we are going to put into an escrow to be able to pay future debt payments off. So some of our debt payments were being restructured where we're going to be paying them every other year, which then will increase our shared cost on those years, and then that will increase our state aid. So our state aid will go up, which means our property tax rate will go down. So the savings, even though we are not, decreasing our debt that we owe, we are decreasing the interest that we are going to be paying on those debts. The final numbers did come back, and it's a little less than the $200,000 amount that we projected at the Finance Committee. So it is $198,635. And we'll continue to restructure our debt until, if it's beneficial to the district and the taxpayers.
So I think this is great news for the taxpayers. So, thank you.
Thank you. Any further questions? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That passes.
Okay. We move on to item 7C. It was a busy meeting at the Finance Committee meeting 2 weeks ago. This is meal and milk prices. We're only allowed to raise these prices so much per year. And the Finance Committee brings forward to the Board of Education with a positive recommendation to approve the 2022-2023 meal and milk prices.
I'll second.
That comes to the board with a positive recommendation. Does not require any discussion.
Maybe we should mention, this was videoed, of course, but it's 2 weeks ago now. So elementary lunch, 10 cents increase, middle school lunch, a 15-cent increase, and high school lunch, a 15-cent increase.
Yeah, I think this is reasonable. Brings it to a nice even dollar amount. It's unfortunate but necessary in the times we're living in. So I tend to agree with this. Any further discussion? Seeing none? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes.
Okay, item 7D for this evening has to do with the 2022-2023 facility use fee schedule. And we bring forward to the Board of Education with a positive recommendation to approve the 2022-2023 facility use fee schedule.
Okay, any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That passes.
Okay, 7E for this evening. This has to do with the end-of-year purchase, and it's engaging with Convergent Solutions to replace the Germantown School District phone system. We have discussed this in the past, and of course it was covered at the Finance Committee meeting 2 weeks ago. So, Finance Committee brings forward to the Board of Education with a positive recommendation to contract Convergent Solutions to replace the GSD phone system in the amount not to exceed $150,000 purchased from the appropriate accounts in the general fund.
Any discussion? I have a quick question. Since our phone system is necessary for safety and security as well, is there any chance we can funnel some ESSER dollars into this?
Right now, we're using the additional state aid dollars that we received from the state for the $515,000 that we received from the state this year. We can look to see if we can move some of the ESSER dollars in there.
Okay.
And we can use the state aid money and then come to the board later and just do a journal entry and move the funds if we find out that it is approved by ESSER.
Okay. Bob?
I just want to do a shout out to Justin. I attended the Finance Committee meeting 2 weeks ago, and I didn't get a chance to publicly acknowledge that he did a wonderful job doing that report out, and I just want to say he's a breath of fresh air. I chatted with him in the lobby, but I hope I'm not embarrassing him, but he's doing a wonderful job for us, so thank you.
He is. He had to leave, but.
Okay, so he left again.
I'll have him watch this.
Thank you.
Anything further? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes.
Okay, item 7F for this evening, it's a admin laptop refresh. It's 25 HP Elite Book 850 G8 laptop computers. The Finance Committee brings forward to the Board of Education with a positive recommendation to lease purchase HP laptops with the warranty from Vanguard Computers and finance the lease purchase through a 4-year lease arrangement with Corporate Leasing Associates in an amount not to exceed $23,661 with an annual P&I payment of $6,369.54 as presented, and charge the appropriate capitalization and lease accounts in the general fund.
Does not require a second. Do any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That passes.
Okay, item 7G. This is for the cameras, I believe, correct?
Yep.
The Finance Committee brings forward to the Board of Education with a positive recommendation to purchase security cameras in an amount not to exceed $53,960 as funds allow from the appropriate accounts in the general fund.
Does not require a second. Any discussion? I think we might want to clarify that the cameras are being replaced because we can no longer maintain the cameras that we currently have, or are allowed to use those cameras, I believe?
Right. It was the cameras we have apparently have a security issue of some sort, and they are no longer allowed, I think is the best way to state it.
Yeah, Genetec is the video management server that we use, and they support certain cameras, and the cameras that we have right now are manufactured in China, and they're on the forbidden list from the Secure Equipment Act. So we've got to get new cameras.
Okay. Any further questions? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That passes.
Okay, item 7H, Kennedy Middle School clock upgrade. The Finance Committee brings forward the motion to move forward with a positive recommendation to the full board to award audio engineering not to exceed $20,340 to complete zones 2 and 3 funded from the Building and Grounds Fund 10 if funding is available.
Does not require a second. Any discussion? And if funds are not available? what
Then
would
then it would stay, currently they're planned for next year and the following year. And if funds are available, we just move them up forward. But we're waiting as the year goes on to see if funds are available, as we do want to spend our budgets because they affect our shared costs, which then affects our state aid.
Correct. So we were planning on phase 2, but we're looking to move up phase 3 a year earlier possibly?
Phase 2 was supposed to be next year, phase 3 was going to be the following year, and we're moving them both up to this year if we can.
Okay. Any further questions? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That passes.
Okay, item 7I, grounds tractor replacement. The Finance Committee brings forward the motion to move forward with a positive recommendation to the full board to award mid-state equipment not to exceed $57,463.58 to purchase a John Deere 3046R tractor with attachments funded from the Building and Grounds Fund 10 if funding is available.
Does not require a second. Any questions?
Just to, I think, just to point out that we're selling old equipment to help defray some of the costs on this as well.
Correct. It's about $15,000 that we've sold in old equipment.
My question was, according to the background, there was 3 tractors that we're replacing with 1. Are we going to be buying 2 more down the road?
No.
One's going to be able to handle everything.
Correct.
Okay. Just wanted to be sure. Any more questions? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That passes.
Okay, item 7J, 2022-2023 CISA 6 contract. The Finance Committee brings forward the motion to approve with a positive recommendation to the full Board of Education to award the Cooperative Educational Service Agency Number 6, CISA 6, a contract not to exceed $31,000 for writing professional development for the 2022-2023 school year.
That does not require a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That passes. And there's more.
Yes. Last but not least, item 7K, disinfecting UV lighting for the Germantown High School. The Finance Committee brings forward the motion to move forward with a positive recommendation to the full board for filtration concepts not to exceed $46,234 to install UV lighting on the air handling units at Germantown High School and Amy Bell, funded from the ESSER funds.
That does not require a second. Further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That passes.
And item, just kidding. That's it.
Thank you. Very aggressive Finance Committee. Item 8, Insurance Committee, update from May 23rd, 2022 meeting. Mr. Barney.
Yeah, Insurance Committee met this evening. We received a quick update from USI, our health insurance consultant. We're still planning on moving forward with self-funded insurance. From a timeline perspective, USI is going to meet with administration next week to continue the planning, and then we'll most likely bring something back to the board around the July timeframe. Based on USI's comments, that still gives us plenty of time to communicate any changes to staff well before open enrollment would take place. And I guess one other note, if we go down that road, the expectation is any changes that our staff would experience would be minimal, that it would be mostly back-end changes that they would likely not see.
Excellent. Any questions? Okay, thank you, Mr. Barney.
Yep.
Item 9, new business, administrator resignations. Mr. Stossel.
Mr. Nowak.
Thank you. Mark Leonard has submitted a letter of resignation effective June 30th, 2022. Mark was hired in August of 2007 as an English teacher at Germantown High School. He transitioned to serving as an assistant principal in the fall of 2009. Dr. Brett Stouslin also submitted a letter of resignation effective June 30th, 2022. He was hired in the spring of 2020 to serve as superintendent for the Germantown School District beginning in the 2020-21 school year. We ask that you approve the resignations of Mark Lederer and Brett Stouslin and thank them for their service to the students, their families, and to the Germantown School District. Also that we approve posting and filling the vacancies.
I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the resignations of Mark Lanier and Brett Stouslin and thank them for their years of service to the students, their families, and to the Germantown School District. Approve posting and filling the vacancy.
Second.
Any discussion?
Yes. Do we know where Mark is going?
Yes, Mark is going to the Waukesha School District where he will serve in, I guess technically it's a director position in pupil services. But specifically, I believe for special ed, correct? Okay, pupil services, but pupil services.
Well, I may vote no because he is a lone Bear fan like I am. I really don't want a Chicago Bear fan to leave the Germantown School District.
Yes, we do.
Thank you to both of you for everything you've done for our students, our staff, for ourselves, your dedication, time, everything. Very much appreciate it.
Yeah, I'll say, Mark, having been here for 15 years, the entire time my kids were going through the school, especially the high school, outstanding representative of Germantown. He did a great job for our students. And Mr. Southland, you're going to be missed. Your time here was short, but I know it was contentious at times. We went through the pandemic with you. We appreciate all your hard work and everything you did to get us back on our feet.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you both. Anyone else? Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That passes. Discussion and action to approve 2022 summer school contracts. Mr. Ryder.
As we close out this year, we're moving forward with our summer school year. So this evening, I'm looking for approval of our current summer school staffing plan and contracts. As of today, we have 97 sections of summer school courses taking place over our 3 terms, with approximately 1,642 students registered at about 17 students per section in those courses. We do not have a full staffing plan yet. We are advertising specifically at the elementary level for some of our enrichment classes via WeCan. So there, as it states in the memo, there's the possibility I'll be coming back to ask for further contract approval.
Okay. I'll entertain a motion.
Move to approve the contracts as presented.
Second. Any discussion? I'll wait a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And that passes.
Thank you.
Item C, discussion and action to approve extended school year contracts.
Yep, that's going to be Mr. Lamb, and he'll also have the IEP diagnostic contracts.
Thank you. Each year, we have a few students for whom their IEPs require them to receive some additional services throughout the summer months. We have a couple of staff members that are willing to provide those services this summer, so we'd ask that you approve the contracts for them to provide the services to our students with the extended school year services in their IEPs, and there may be some additional names, just as Mr. Reuter had mentioned, there may be some additional names in this situation as well that come forward before the end of the year.
Okay, thank you. I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to approve the contracts as stated.
Second.
Bob, second.
Bob's fine. Got it.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That passes. Item D, discussion and action to approve 2022 Summers IEP diagnostic contract. I think that's what we just approved, right?
Yep. We also have a number of evaluations for special education eligibility that continue on through the summer, and some that are initiated during the summer. So these are the staff members that we know at this point that will be necessary to complete those evaluations. And similar to the other 2 items, there may be some additional needs for staff that emerge as we get closer and into the summer. So we'd ask that you approve these the staff members as well to provide those diagnostic services for summer eligibility purposes.
Okay, thank you. I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to approve contracts as presented.
Second.
Second, Tracy. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That passes. Moving on to item E, discussion and action to approve overnight travel request from HOSHA.
Yep, I'd ask the board to approve HOSA, which is the Health Occupation Students of America, approve a trip to Nationals, June 21st to the 26th. Diane Siramu is the advisor and would be taking 4 students.
I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to approve the overnight travel request from the Germantown High School hosts students and chaperone to travel to Nashville, Tennessee from June 21st, 2022 to June 26th, 2022 as presented.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That passes. Item F, discussion and action to approve overnight travel request for Skills USA.
I'd ask the board to approve Skills USA has 3 students that would be attending the national competition in Georgia, June 20th to the 24th, with advisor John Skowiak.
I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to approve the overnight travel request for the Germantown High School Skills USA program to travel to Atlanta, Georgia from June 20, 2022 to June 24th, 2022 as presented.
Second?
Tom and Mike. Any discussion?
Yes. I wish them all the best and good luck.
Thank you. Anything further? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That passes. Item G, discussion and action to approve donations.
Yes, I'd ask the board to approve the following donations. There's actually 17 different donations, which tells you a lot about the Germantown community. We seem to be approving donations each month for various organizations, and we certainly appreciate that. First one is $250 from Alto Sham to the Girls High School Swim and Dive Program. $4,207 from an anonymous donor for the high school athletics score table. $275 from Bradley Corporation Foundation to the powerlifting team. $250 from Matt and Carrie Cephalou to the girls high school basketball program. $250 from Jerome and Deborah Hogan to the high school greenhouse project. $500 from the high school PTA to the high school piano campaign. $500 from Homer's Towing and Service to the girls high school golf program. $250 from Patrick and Rachel Kernan to the girls high school swim and dive program. $500 from Doug Mashman to the general athletic program. $500 from Richard and Sharon Miller to the girls high school golf program. $250 from Mosquito Guy to the girls high school swim and dive program. $300 from Renee Mersglad to the girls high school swim and dive program. $1,000 from Jason and Kirsten Teston to the girls high school swim and dive program. $1,000 from Toothtown Dentistry to the girls high school swim and dive program. $500 from Waukesha County Community Foundation to the Environmental Club. $1,000 from Brett and Kim Nickel family to the High School Performing Arts Center and High School Music Department. And $500 from Sue and Randy Hollister to the Middle School 6th Grade Science Department.
I'll entertain a motion.
I would like to thank the donors for their generosity and approve the donations as listed.
Second.
Russ? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That passes. Outstanding that we have this many donations and they continue to come in. Much appreciated from all the people that consider Germantown the district that it is. Much appreciated. The board will entertain a motion to go into closed session if needed to pursuant to section 19.851E and F to discuss negotiations and personnel. The board may take action in closed session if necessary or appropriate to entertain a motion to reconvene into open session to take further action if necessary and appropriate, and to entertain a motion to adjourn the meeting. I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Medved?
Yes.
Reineman?
Yes.
Soderberg?
Yes.
Vogt?
Yes.
Ewert?
Yes.
Pollock?
Yes.
And myself, yes.
We are in
Closed session,
closed session.
8:19.
Thank you all for coming, and drive home safely.